Hello, everyone. Hi, Sagies. Hi, peeps. I am Indigo Sage here with
Pia
Pia Talks,
Talks.
and we are reviewing another movie today. It is called Queenpins. This one was recommended by Miss Pia Talks. Okay, Queenpins. What was Queenpins about?
So, you guys, before we get into this movie, we have to warn you. Well, this movie to me was just a good old comedy. And sometimes you just need to laugh. And I just happened to fall upon this movie, flipping through the channels, and I was instantly laughing my butt off. Pins are about these two ladies, very lovely people, who are kind of down on their luck. One has had her identity stolen. The other one is down and depressed about not being able to conceive, even though she's gone through all these rounds of IVF. And she is in love with couponing. And then they develop into this huge couponing illegal business. Personally, I just want to say, I want to give a shout out to all the people who are couponers. I really admire the people who can go through the grocery store, scan everything, slide through their coupons, and then their total is 87 cents.
Yes.
Or the ones I've seen some on TV where they scan all the coupons and then the grocery store owes them a couple bucks. So
yes.
like, this is great. I wish that I could do that, but my brain doesn't work like that.
Mine too. And you know what? I don't have the patience. I will sit down on a Sunday with the coupon paper and I will have good intentions. I'll have good intentions. But it's my brain doesn't work like that either because it's like you gotta buy this certain amount, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta hop on one leg and turn around. I can't do all of that just to get the discount. I'm like, I'll
it's crazy. It's so strategic. It's like you have to get 87 bottles of Tide, and then you have to have 20 bottles of palm olive with all of this, and then scan all these I just can't figure it out. I don't know how they do it. They are really good at it.
They are. And I'm gonna tell you what broke me one time. I had gotten the right brand and the right this, the right that, and then like on the box, it was one little thing that wasn't right. It didn't match the coupon one. And I was like, what do you mean? This is the palm olive. This is this. This is they're like, but it says lemon smell. This is not lemon. This is mint or whatever, And I was like, are you serious? Are you serious? And
they would that too.
I was like, yes, I admire them too.
Yeah, and it has happened to all of us. I mean, you have to admit, Sages and Peeps, get in the comments. You have to admit you are going to the grocery store, you've got your coupons, and you just know, I'm going to get this type of pasta sauce because I've got a coupon for it. And then you get up to the register and you did not have the right flavor of sauce,
mushroom,
or
not
you didn't
garlic.
have the right ounces of sauce, and then you are ticked off because they won't even go ahead and give you the credit anyway.
They will not honor it. Which came up in this, that's how this movie opened up. That mean man wouldn't honor that coupon.
Well, can you just make an exception?
I mean, we could just honor it, Ken, this one time. She's been coming here for like 150 years.
Yeah, I don't care if she's Dame Judi Dench, Dave. You leave the food out, the critters will get it. This is how this starts. I'm just saying. Sorry to compare you to rodents, ma'am. I didn't mean that. I just mean to say the rules are rules. But if it helps...
If it helps... I have hemorrhoids. You know what helps, honey? Preparation H.
Well, we're happy to sell it to you at full price.
Well, then why don't you buy it? Because you're a giant asshole.
That was awful.
And that woman
had he disrespected that woman with that coupon was terrible.
And she had them hemorrhoids. And I loved her joke because she said you can use it because you are a big A.O. I was like, you're an old lady. I didn't expect that old lady.
That was perfect. She was the perfect lady to deliver that to him. I thought it was great. The cast of this movie was pretty impressive. We have Kristen Bell, Bebe Rexha, Paul Walker Hauser. We have Vince Vaughn and a lady named Kirby Howell Baptiste. She is absolutely gorgeous. So you guys, you can see that they had a really good cast. All of these people, I think, were cast perfectly. They all did a wonderful job. But when the movie gets started, tell them about it, Indigo. How did the movie get started?
Well, we are introduced to an Olympic champion race walker, and her name is Connie. And race walking, just in case any of you don't know what that is, it is, in fact, a real Olympic event. I came about it accidentally. No, I wasn't in it. So let me rephrase this. I was flipping through the channels about 20 years ago when the Olympics was on, and I saw these people moving real funny. This is how they move when they walking. And it's done on purpose. It's a strategy. Now, the walking is so serious to where you can't, your feet has to be touching the ground at all times. You cannot not be touching the ground. That's the difference between walking and running. So a heel and the ball of one foot, the heel of the other foot has to be on the ground at the same time at all times. If for any moment you're not on the ground, then you're disqualified. And the people
Wow.
pivot like this
Well,
because
that's how she was walking at the beginning of the movie, and it tickled me. Like, I busted out laughing, and I said, "Is this a real Olympic sport?" But I mean, they
yes,
take this very seriously.
it
It just,
is.
I mean, the way that they walk like that, it just seems
It's
to
a
be so
strategy.
uncomfortable. But I'm sure they're
Mm.
getting a full body workout walking like that.
It is. It is. And the reason why they walk like that is because they use their hips. Their hips have to be dropped and lower because one leg has to be straight also. So one leg can bend and the other leg has to be straight while the leg bends. So it's very complicated. It is not easy. It's
And it's
not
not for the
easy.
old. I can tell you that. I got to protect my hips. I cannot. I'm sorry, just a regular old walking for me. That's another Olympic sport that I won't be a part of.
I know. And what's sad about it is because I can't do. I tried it just for trying it. I think I ended up moonwalking. It wasn't it. I wasn't doing it, but I just didn't realize it was so sad. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it says walking in the title. I can't walk right now. But yes, it's a very serious sport.
So we should also let you know that this movie is inspired, not based. It is inspired by a true story. And the true story is it's a whole lot less funny than the movie,
Yeah.
okay? The writers of the movie decided that even though they interviewed the investigators who were helping with this coupon fraud and they got a lot of the basic background, they decided not to interview the actual coupon queens because they wanted it to be a comedy. They knew that if they actually started throwing in the true facts of the case, that it wouldn't be funny anymore. In real life, it was 3 women versus the movie, it's only 2. The ringleader of the couponing crime in real life was Robin Ramirez. At the time of arrest, she was 46 years old. There was a Marilyn Johnson who was 62 years old, and a
62.
Amiko Amy Fountain who was 42 years old. So their operation took place in Phoenix, Arizona, in real life and in the movie. So that was something
Okay.
that was definitely kept correct in the movie.
That's
Now, in
right.
the movie, our 2 Queenpins, they actually went to a coupon manufacturer place and
Uh-huh.
got the coupons that were thrown out or
Uh-huh.
the irregular coupons, some that they decided they had too many of, they didn't need. So they were actually real coupons. Now,
Uh-huh.
in the real life case, these 3 ladies, their coupons, they would sell these get one free coupons at half the price of the value. So if the value of the coupon was $40, they would sell them to you for $20.
$20.
They would
I
sell their
thought that.
coupons on eBay. They also created their own website called savvyshoppersite.com. And the reason they named it savvyshoppersite.com was because there was a magazine called Savvy Shopper and they wanted it to look more authentic.
Dang, they just straight up. Okay, so that was real. They straight up created a fake website to do, well, not a fake website. They created a real website to do illegal business. That's not
Absolutely.
that's not um that's not good. That's not smart.
Right. They also had the flashy lifestyle that is depicted in the movie, and we'll talk more about it later. But they did end up, when they were busted and raided by the SWAT team, they had over $40 million worth of coupons. They also seized $2 million worth of assets. They seized 4 homes, 22 guns, a 40-foot speedboat, and 21 other vehicles. So these ladies were really living large.
So they
over
really
this
did do
coupon
that.
scheme.
When you told me that some of this was like, not real life and it was just depicted in the movie, just kind of made up, and I thought, okay, yeah, like the cars, that's got to be made up, boat, that's all. In my mind, I was thinking that's probably exaggerated. That was real.
That was
Oh
real.
my
They said
God.
that Robin Ramirez, she actually did rent an aircraft hangar for her 40-foot speedboat, a luxury RV, all of her various off-road toys, and other vehicles, including a Corvette that was worth over $150,000.
Did they have an airplane?
Honey, listen, I don't know if they actually had an airplane in the hangar, but they sure had everything but. I mean, dang on it. Now, these ladies, they had their coupons. They got their coupons from overseas. Mm-hmm. They ordered a ton of coupons from other countries. These coupons that they got overseas used to be coupons that were actually valid. They were valid coupons that they were just reprinting and recopying, it seems, over and over and over again. So majority of the time, a lot of these coupons actually did work. They did say that most of their customers had no idea that they were buying stolen or fake or fraudulent coupons. However, they said that there were absolutely clues as to, you have to know that this can't be legal, because first of all, you would have to use a green dot credit card, one of those store-bought refillable cards to buy. You also needed to be referred from a former shopper. They also told you not to tell anybody about the website. I mean, any legitimate company would be happy for any customers, and we would be happy for you to pay us whatever way you can. Not tell you who you can tell, don't tell, can't use this card, you have to be referred. That, to me, absolutely red flag. This is illegal.
And it's even contradictory on a certain level, because don't tell anyone, but you must have a referral.
Right. It did say, don't tell anyone that you don't absolutely know and trust. There you go. I forgot that part.
Okay. Yeah.
But they got busted because Procter & Gamble did an audit on their coupons and found out that they were getting crushed with coupon business. And so they reached out to a whole bunch of other major companies, and they all did audits on their coupon business. And the next thing you know, they all hired a private investigator to find out what is going on, because they know that they do have coupons, but not millions upon millions of dollars worth of coupons.
Yeah.
They did get raided by SWAT. SWAT showed up and busted in the door, just like in the movie, but probably not as funny. While doing the investigation, they did discover that it was $400 to $600 million worth of loss to these major businesses. So that's another reason why they were absolutely trying to figure out who these ladies were. These major companies lost up to $600 million. Robin, Marilyn, and Amy, they were all arrested in July of 2012. They were charged with counterfeiting, forgery, operating an illegal enterprise, money laundering, and other violations. Robin Ramirez, she pled guilty to fraud, counterfeiting, and being in control of an illegal enterprise. Her forgery charge was dropped, and she was sentenced to 2 years in prison, followed by 7 years of probation. The other 2 members, they did not receive any jail time at all. However, they do all have to pay back $1.2 million. Well, actually over $1.2 million to Procter & Gamble. So these ladies, they're all out of jail now.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. All over coupons.
So now that we told you about the real coupon Queenpins. Now let's tell you about the movie. So we start off, of course, we know we've got this Olympic race walker. We also have her friend who lives down the street named JoJo. JoJo is down on her luck. She is trying to start this makeup business called Back to Black. Her identity has been stolen, so she has zero credit. The bank won't be bothered with her. You know, she just can't do anything. So she lives with her mom, and her mom have this relationship that so many people have with their mom. Her mom is a no-nonsense mom. She is all about, do you have a job? Where are you going to get some money? And JoJo is an aspiring YouTuber. Her mom is not here for it.
Yo, 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 it's time to say with JoJo. Is it hot in here or is it just me?
It's you.
Mom!
At all. At all. Even when she asked her, can you please just be quiet for just a moment? And she was like, mm-hmm. And that, now she had upped her game by having that screen that she pulled down. I was like, you go, girl, okay. And then I can't remember what she said, and her mom was like, "No, you don't." Something from behind the screen. I was like, "Can't you just?"
You know what? I laughed because you and I both know what it's like to be a YouTuber, and there has been many a times where I was right in the middle of filming, and my son's like, "Mom," I'm like, "Dude."
It's some noise that you have no control over, and it's like, okay, and she was like, "I got to start over."
Yeah, that was hilarious. When Connie and her are over talking about their coupons, this is before the illegal business. They are excited. They have all their coupons out on the table. They are getting their stuff together. You know, they're calculating what they're gonna buy, how they're gonna save, you know, what's going on. And she says, well, I am just one proof of purchase away from getting the free toothpaste. And then you see her over in the dumpster just to get a toothpaste box so she can cut off the barcode for proof of purchase. I said, wow, That is passion. Because, honey, listen, I'm not jumping over in the dumpster for nothing. Do you hear me?
That's extreme.
No, ma'am. There are sometimes rats in the dumpster. I can't live my life like this.
Well, you know what it was she needed 5 proofs of purchase from the toothpaste to get a free AT&T card.
That's right. It was an AT&T gift card.
Bill. Yeah, exactly. Yes. And so JoJo was like, you know, let's see if he know how to pay a phone bill with some toothpaste.
That was hilarious. I forgot it was for a gift card for AT&T. I still wouldn't do it. But I agreed with her. Let's see if her rude husband could pay the AT&T bill with toothpaste.
And you know, she was so rude to him. JoJo was so outwardly rude to him, which, I mean, he's not a likable. Connie's husband is not a likable character. However, it just struck me as kind of weird for your best friend to be that rude to that is your husband. But the joke she said was funny when he said, I've got to be leaving now. And she said, those are the words that everyone likes to hear. I was like,
and then slammed the door in his face. And he was like, don't slam the, she just like slam. You know what? I laughed quite a bit. I didn't even flinch when she talked to him like that. Now, in my life, I would not talk to somebody's husband like that. Yeah. I would shade her husband, but I wouldn't shade him to that point.
Yeah,
he is a horrible husband, and she loves her friend, and she knows that he is a despicable husband. I mean, this guy tells his wife that they could be having fancy dinners and living nicer if she didn't have to have 4 rounds of IVF, and still they don't have a baby. Yeah. I thought that is the most insensitive piece of crap that I have ever heard or seen a husband to say to his wife who just wanted to give him a child.
Yeah.
I thought it was terrible. But then, you know what made me laugh a little, and I felt bad about laughing, is when JoJo went to do her makeover of that woman, and then she went to pay her, and she said, do you accept credit cards? And she said, oh no, because I have an identity theft problem. I said, that is not the way that you say that. All she had to say
Exactly.
is, I'm sorry, I don't accept credit cards. She did not have to tell that
I was
woman that and
wondering,
not say it that way, because all of a sudden the woman thought she steals identities instead of the
yeah,
other way around.
wouldn't you,
The way she said it.
honey? My eyes got big. I'm just watching it, but I was like, girl, what? You got an identity theft problem? I'm like, why you in my house? You gotta go. So with the husband, and his a-hole behavior, he does look at her room. She has a room. She's converted what would have been the baby room to her storage room of all of the things that she got with her coupons. And so he notices a stockpile of liquid Tide. Now we all know that Tide is a little expensive. Okay. I love me some Tide. Can't always get Tide, but when I can get Tide, I get Tide. So he says how ridiculous that is to have that amount of Tide. And she breaks it down and says, okay, that's $400 worth of Tide that I got for $57. When I heard that,
Legally.
legally, yes.
With her
Legally.
legal
Before to say that,
coupons.
yes. This is legally before any, underground business starts. And I thought, maybe I do need to be couponing after she
Me too, because I love Tide. And I always have to buy the Tide Simple in the yellow because it's cheaper than the original Tide in the reddish orange container.
And she even pointed out this is 6 months worth of Tide, that she got for $57, which is good, and you do have to be strategic in order to do that. So that was great. And there was there's a phrase that she says all the time that I kind of like. So she goes into the grocery stores and, she has all of these items and the cashier's ringing them up. And then at the very end, she always says, when they say the total, it'll be $216. And she say, is it? And hands them a stack of coupons, to which they roll their eyes. They begrudgingly take them and starts to wiping them and looking at her sideways, giving her, a little side eye, just ugh. And so then, in this example that they show, she gets that 200 and something dollars down to $16. And so, and the cashier's always got to apologize to the people in the line behind her.
And you know that. I mean, every last one of us have been one of those people in the line behind them. Like, good
Rolling
gracious,
our eyes.
how many coupons do you have? But I also like her other saying.
Watch the pennies and the dollars take care of themselves.
Say that again.
Watch the pennies and the dollars take care of themselves.
That is absolutely what she says. And I love it. I also love that the cashier says, why do you always say that? I'm thinking, how are you still working here, fella? You are so rude.
Rude. Yeah, he's rude. But I mean, I think it's a collective feeling for that lady.
Is it?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's like 1,000 coupons, man. Well, good for you, lady. You saved $122.10.
It is good for me, Greg. It is good for me. Watch the pennies and the dollars will take care of themselves.
Right.
They act like they just really do not like coupons.
I mean, it's a lot, I guess. I mean, especially if you see the same lady every day, you're just probably like, oh, God, it's the coupon woman. I don't know. So you're probably wondering, how does she get to this illegal part? Well, she ends up buying a box of Wheaties. Well, actually, she bought several boxes of Wheaties, and they were stale. So she writes this letter about how dare you call this the breakfast of champions. It's the breakfast of chumps. And she is a former, Olympian race walker. So she should know. So they end up sending her a coupon for one free box of Wheaties. And oh my goodness, this just sends her into heaven. She is so excited. Look at this. She's got this free box of Wheaties. And the next thing you know, She is writing every company that she has ever purchased anything for or ever seen a coupon for, complaining about them getting all these free coupons. Well, what happens is she shows her free coupons to JoJo.
Better yet, just pay me for the coupon.
Okay.
Actually, how much would you pay me for this Cottonelle coupon? Would you pay maybe half of what it's worth?
$20? Yeah. Why not?
So you'd give me $20 for this coupon that I got for free. That's quite a profit, don't you think? Imagine if we got more of these and we sold them to people for half. That'd be a real business.
Yeah, that's when they went down that lane.
That's when it all became illegal, and they end up in, what was it, Chihuahua, Mexico?
Yeah.
For those of you wondering, Chihuahua, Mexico is a real place. I thought they were just trying to be funny, and I thought, why are they being so rude? But it really is. So they go down to Chihuahua, Mexico, and they go to the place, the factory that makes the coupons. They're able to convince this couple who is down on their luck. They don't have much money. They're only making a few dollars an hour working for this American company in Mexico.
$2.
Which is legit. Oh, I hate that too. Taking advantage of innocent people like that. And it just so happens that the wife is pregnant and they need money. They need to be able to take care of their child. And so they decide that family matters. The most important thing matters to them, says Michael J. Fox, Marty McFly. I said family ties, Michael J. Fox. Anyway.
So the way that they decided after they picked, who they wanted to offer this illegal business to, this deal, they slowly follow them and her. She got a bumblebee yellow bug car with eyelashes on the lights because she sells makeup. So that's advertisement. And so this is not incognito, this yellow bug is following these two people. And the man asked the woman in Spanish, do you know them? And she's like, no. So they're like, break. And so they just start running. And finally, when they catch up with the guy, they're afraid because they say, don't follow anyone. Don't ever follow anyone in Mexico. And I would wage to say, don't ever follow anyone, period, anywhere like that. And by the time they catch up with the wife, she picks up a brick and she's like, getting ready to let them have it. And then the husband lets her know it's safe, it's cool. And then again, she says, don't you ever follow anybody in Mexico. But that part was funny because they needed to learn a quick lesson. They learn a lot of lessons in this movie.
They really do. I mean, they were able to convince the couple to work with them. And then all of a sudden they end with a really quick growing business. They set up their own website called Savvy Super Savers, which in real life, their site was savvyshoppersite.com. Also, JoJo, budding YouTuber, she starts vlogging about Savvy Super Savers on her YouTube channel. And all of a sudden, the investigator for A&G Family Mart starts getting all of these calls and emails and letters in the mail about these crazy free coupons that are showing up everywhere.
Yep. His name is Ken, and he is bothered by it, okay? Because he takes his business very seriously. He takes his couponing very seriously. He, at one point, he was called a detective, and he thought that was just like the best compliment in the world. I don't remember what his actual title was, but I know he wanted to be.
He was the loss prevention manager for A&G Family Foods or Family Food Mart or something. And, he shows up at this lady's house who used a coupon and he was questioning her. And I would have threw him out because, first of all, you are not a real detective. You work loss prevention at A&G and I haven't stolen anything, sir. Why are you at my house? And you got your little notepad out talking about, I got some questions for you. Just assume I know the answers. You don't assume anything on my couch. Get out of here.
That cracked me up when he said, assume I know the answers. And then she said that she couldn't remember the coupon site. And he was like, why can't you remember? And she said, don't you know the answers? She got you. But
as the business is going really well, at some point their accounts get locked up and frozen because the bank needs more information. You need to prove to the United States, banking institutions that you are a legitimate business. So that's when Bibi Rexha's character shows up. She's the actual person who stole JoJo's identity. They need her help figuring out how to get their bank accounts reopened.
You know what? Like they got on her nerves a lot, just in the car, just right in the car. They got on her nerves. And I was like, dang, lady, you real sensitive. But I think what that was meant to show was that they didn't know how serious all of this illegal business was.
Right.
They wasn't taking it. I guess what got on her nerves is that they weren't taking it seriously enough. Is
and
that
the
what
fact that they didn't know anything? They had just set up this website. They start collecting this money and didn't have any clue what they had gotten themselves into. And even with her help, they still were making stupid mistakes. They still have the A&G Family Mart guy, Ken, on the lookout. Ken ends up taking his coupon information to the FBI, thinking that they were going to be interested. He actually acted like a complete nut job in their office, and they couldn't wait to get rid of him fast enough. Yeah. And they just sent off his information to some guy who's in the basements of Washington, D.C.'s FBI office.
One little sad
this has never seen the light of day.
Yeah. That was, you know what? I'm going to be honest, what popped in my head was, how many times have they done this? Like somebody has a real concern and they just ship it off to
I
the
bet
guy
that's
in the
a
basement.
Regular occurrence, in my opinion.
Yeah. But at least that guy did give him a call back, and then he talked crazy to the man who was trying to help him.
Oh, he was pissed. He thought that he was about to get some sort of brigade of officers that were just going to show up and come to the rescue. He thought he was going to have a full-fledged army at his disposal for coupons. And that just was not going to happen. I'm like, buddy, nobody is about to bang down people's doors right now over your coupon issue that we don't have any information on. And also, when he does call the guy back, he did help out a little by letting him know that these coupons were coming in the mail. So that helped him out. And that's how we were introduced to the Vince Vaughn character, who is a post office inspector. So he works for the United States Post Office as an investigator. And that's how he was able to help him. But also, did you notice as things started to change for her, Connie, her hair got better?
Yeah.
Throughout the film.
JoJo did her hair. After JoJo did
her hair looks amazing. She started actually caring about herself more when they started getting all this coupon business. The more in deep they got with the coupons, the more it seems that she came out of her dumps and started feeling good and looking good.
Yeah, the depression. I think she was in a depression, and when she had to, there was a point where she had to kind of snap out of it when she had to walk in and represent the business and get the money out of the bank. And then, so, JoJo did her hair and everything. JoJo did a nice little makeover for her.
Yeah, because her hair actually started looking better before they even got to that point. And I was thinking, wow, she's caring about herself more.
Yeah.
And she's probably, because I think the fact that she had all the problems with conception, with the IVF and everything, and then she had that husband who really didn't seem to care about her that much, that just kept her down in the dumps. But they decided now that they have all of this money, what are they going to do with the money? They believed that the money was dirty, even though it was going through a legitimate business. They didn't realize that the money is now clean since it's going through this legitimate business. And they decided to go out and buy a bunch of stuff and then sell the stuff to make the money clean. They go out and purchase all of these Lamborghinis, a boat, some guns, and a really tricked out RV. And I thought, why would you do that? Because to me, my mind said purchasing all of this stuff puts a bigger target on you. How is the former Olympic race walker with no job and the girl who blogs who doesn't have that big of a following? I mean, she did later with the savvy coupons, but how are you able to afford all this? Don't you think that would put the police or somebody on your radar?
Well, Pia, the lady that was telling them all these instructions didn't let them take notes.
We gotta spread this shit out. I'm talking bank accounts, credit cards, a stash house, and aliases.
Could you say it all again and like much slower?
And do you have like a pad just to write it down? No, get out.
I mean, we are in an illegal business here, people. You can't take notes.
I like taking notes.
Dumb criminals have been busted for taking down notes. I mean, seriously, Warren Jeffs had all those notes and all those stupid audio recordings. There's been so many criminals who have robbed banks by writing a robbery note on the back of their paycheck stub. You know what I mean? You don't write a note, period.
Well, they didn't. Notes. They didn't, and they regretted it. Because even when she brought them in, it was like, what are you guys doing? Why did you? And they were like, now look, if you would have let her take notes, then we would have knew. I'm like, take notes. Okay.
And all of this is going on under the nose of her husband, Rick, who is always out working. He spends 3 weeks out of the month out of town. Now, here she is living it up. She is out in Vegas. She's out here making arms deals. She is buying this and buying that. And Rick is at work not knowing a thing.
Oh, speaking of buying, their next big purchase was sperm.
Honey, she said they bought $300,000 worth of sperm.
Now, I wonder, how do they sell that?
Anyway, it was supposed to be top quality sperm. The man was intelligent and 6'2" and something else or another. And she also went ahead and got artificially inseminated again with this guy, super sperm man's sperm, and not her husband's. Even though they did have her husband's sperm, she said, no, thank you. And I couldn't blame her. I could not blame her. I said, no, ma'am, I wouldn't want her husband's sperm either.
How many times did that doctor, the inseminator, ask her, are you sure? Are you sure?
Probably 5 times. He wanted to be very positive. He said, no, once we bake the cake, you know, it's too late. And she said, he doesn't deserve it. It is cake.
I was like, ooh, so what does that say about your relationship? But, you know, because I was hoping, you know, I always hope for the best. And I'm thinking they'll work it out. It looked like they was going to work it out when she bought him a TV.
Yeah, when he saw the nice TV, he was so excited about it. I thought they might work it out too, but I wasn't really rooting for it because, you know, deep down, he was a complete jerk. And I knew that she deserved better than that, even if she is doing something illegal. She was a nice girl.
Well, I didn't know if he became a jerk because of their situation, and maybe he wasn't a jerk. Like, I didn't know. We were just introduced to him as a jerk. So I was just like, are you really a nice person somewhere in there?
No, I can't give you the benefit of the doubts when you make that IVF comment. That was the comment that threw it for me. I said, oh no, how can you tell a grieving woman something like that?
Horrible.
I was so unhappy about that. But
and when she wanted to eat out in a nice restaurant, he sat up there and told her, don't you have a coupon for something? And I was like, dang, like that's a dig. Like, you don't even want to get out the house. She's trying to get out the house and go somewhere nice, and you telling her to grab a coupon for eating out?
And then for TGI Fridays. And then you see them having their to-go TGI Fridays.
I know, like, not even in the place. Yeah, he was disappointing.
So through all of this, the investigation is going on. You know, both the investigator from the U.S. Postal Service and Ken from the loss prevention guy from the grocery store, they are out there doing everything they can to figure out who are these couponers.
I want to say real quick, the other man, his name, I don't know. It just sounds so made up to me. But the other man, Vince Vaughn, is Simon Kilmurray. That's his name. And I was like, Simon Kilmurray. But anyway, his name was Simon Kilmurray, and the Ken, he mistook him for the FBI, didn't he? At first, he thought he was from the FBI. Was like, about time y'all showed up, and he was like, I'm from the U.S. Postal Service. He said, "You're what?" But that is federal, right? Postal Service.
Yes, and he told him. He said, "I might be from the U.S. Postal Service." He said, "But I have a badge and a gun." And I'm thinking, that's more than you have, loss prevention guy from the A&G. Like, leave him alone.
Right. That was more than what he had. He didn't have nothing but some stamps, probably. I don't know. Ken didn't have nothing.
He's got the coupons. That's it.
Oh, he did have coupons. He was armed with them coupons. And the ability to not honor them.
When they ended up talking to the really cute mailman who had fallen in love with JoJo, and she didn't realize it, I was thinking to myself, how do you not know that this man is so head over heels in love with you? But when they talk to him and he tries to help her by writing her a little note and giving it to her mom, her crazy doing too much mama, she says, I know what to do with mail. And she just sits it on the counter, and I'm thinking, what in the world? She needs this letter.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking, because by the time we see her, when she does open it, I'm like, everything was slow motion.
By the time she actually opens up the letter, soon as she's finished reading the letter, the SWAT team busts in, and I'm thinking, yep, you could have certainly used that earlier when your mama just acted as if it was bills on the counter. She could have hand delivered this letter to you.
Yes, she just did not care. And of course, now before that, the Ken and Simon staked out the women. This was disappointing to me, because as Ken was talking and he was saying that, they're mailing out the coupons, Simon was like, mail? They're mailing them out? He was like, well, did you order any? And I was sure that Ken was going to say yes, because that's the first thing I would do is go. That's what I would do. I'm not even an investigator.
Ken was almost Barney Fife.
I was going to say, I'm not an investigator, never been trained as an investigator, but they kind of say all women are natural investigators.
Because we are. We will track down the truth.
Because I was thinking the first thing I would have did was I would have went on that website, mail and order me some coupons and stuff, see what's going on. And he didn't do it. He didn't even think to do it. And so then they finally do it. And then, of course, Simon's postal training came right on in, because he said it doesn't matter what the return address is. We're looking at this code, And then Ken gets all impressed and was like, do you have all the zip codes memorized? Anyway, and also at that time, he swear him in to be a postal detective?
Absolutely. But one thing I noticed is right before the big bust with the SWAT team, I noticed her hair went back to the way it was at the beginning. And I said, okay, so right before it all blew up, she must have started to get back into her sad, depressed state, because her hair went right back to the way it was before. Yeah. And I said, okay, I don't know if it was a design from the director to show the differences and who she was before and after and who she was at the end. But I really love how even after the arrest, they still stayed strong together, and how she was willing to take the bulk of the rap for JoJo, because she's the one who came up with that idea and pulled JoJo in. Yeah.
And when you said the big bust, I didn't know if you were talking about the SWAT team or the big bust in the car.
Oh, girl, that car situation is a no-go. That is a no-go. There is no way that I would not have kicked him out of my car physically.
You want to tell him what we're talking about?
Ken Barney Fife of the movie, he is a regular person. By regular, I mean his bowel movements. He goes to the bathroom at the same time every day. And in the middle of this stakeout, he decides that it's okay for him to have his number 2 right there in the car.
Because he said that he was just that dedicated.
Nope.
I was very upset by that.
There is not that much dedication to anything in my life.
You are assaulting all my senses.
We are on a stakeout.
Girl, you better out yourself. I was so bothered by that scene because I was like, now wait a minute. I was enjoying this movie all the way up until that point. That they could have left out. Like, unless that was real, I was like, they could have left that out.
Yeah, they put that in for comic relief.
And I was going to say it had enough funny parts. I was enjoying it. And then this man, first he talks about it, and I thought maybe he's just going to talk about it. And then, because I thought he was just going to talk about it and then they would cut to something else. And that did not happen. He actually did relieve himself in a car. And I was like, ugh. So I just thought I would, spoiler alert, warn people that is something that's going to happen. So don't be eating, maybe, if you're watching the movie.
I was happy in the end that she divorced her husband. Rick was a complete idiot. He was not supportive at all. Yeah. And he was completely shocked that all of this was going on. And, you know, a real husband, even if you are out of town a lot, you would pay more attention to your wife and what's happening, you know, especially if you really cared and loved her that much. I was happy to see that she did get pregnant and carry her baby full term with the super sperm. So I'm thinking that was the movie's way of letting us know that it wasn't her, it was Rick all along, I think.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, so his didn't work, but his did. So I was like, oh, it's you.
Yeah, I think it was absolutely Rick. When they went to court for sentencing, when JoJo was sentenced to, 10 or 11 days suspended and 1 year probation, and her mom screams out loud. She said, what? She was like, when have you gone to court and the black defendant got off? I mean, she was super excited. Her mom was doing way too much in court because Connie, she ended up, what did she end up getting? 11 months in prison?
Yeah.
And a couple of years probation?
Yes.
What I did like is at the end of the movie, JoJo gets with the mailman, who is such a sweetheart, and they move to Montenegro where there is no extra, and they restart the coupon business.
Oh, okay, because I didn't know that. I saw her have a business and it said Back to Black, and I was like, okay, so is that her makeup? I got confused at the end, but I did hear Connie say no expedition.
I saw the Back to Black and I thought, oh, wow, she's starting her makeup line. But then when they pointed out to us that she could not be extradited, I realized that must be a cover for the coupons again.
Okay, because I was like, wait a minute, you sounding funny now. I'm like, why you say that?
Right.
Okay.
But we have a rating system for our movies. If you guys have not seen this, it is streaming on Showtime. Also, our rating system are yellow hearts. So our ratings are 1 to 5, 5 being the absolute best movie you have ever seen, and 1 being I could care less.
And also, let me mention that we also had the broken hearts too, for if we didn't like the movie. But fortunately, this one is in the yellow heart zone for me. And I'm going to give it a 2.5 because the half is because it was inspired by a true story. You know, I like the fact that, you know, some of these actions are real, you know, so I really do like that element of it. And what about you?
On a scale of 1 to 5, yellow, beautiful hearts, I am going to give this 3 hearts. And the reason I'm going to give this 3 hearts is because throughout the time of watching this movie, I laughed my butt off. I thought it was hilarious. Every character played their part, and they did it to the best of their ability. And they absolutely wanted to bring you all the nonstop laughs you can get. So I'm going to give it 3 hearts. It was really funny. So peeps, sages, get down in the comments. Hit us up with your hearts. How many hearts do you give this movie? Have you seen it? Have you not seen it? Will you watch it? If you have Showtime, please go out there and watch it on demand. If you don't have Showtime, I'm sure you can find it streaming somewhere or at your local library.
All right, so just to let you guys know, the next movie we will be reviewing in a few weeks coming up is called Brain on Fire. So if you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch it so that maybe you can join in the comments. And if it's been on your list, be sure to tune in for when we review Brain on Fire. You can find it on Netflix.
There you go, you guys. You can find Brain on Fire on Netflix. Check it out. As we always say, until next time, bye.
Bye.